We welcome you live to the Season 5 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series race in Darlington. And it's officially Throwback Night all around the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. Oh, Throwback Week around the league. And then, of course, it is Throwback Night today in Darlington, South Carolina for race number 13 of the Grand National Series season. And it comes from the track Too Tough to Tame here from Darlington Raceway. Of course, last week we were obviously in Michigan. Oh, what a fun week that was. One of the greatest Grand National races we've ever seen last week. What a show those Grand National drivers put on last week. That's Wednesday in Michigan. Just unbelievable stuff there. I can't wait to see what happens tonight here in Darlington. All right. There are enough cars on the racetrack in just a few moments from Darlington Raceway. Of course, like we said, Throwback Night for the Grand National Series. We're going to have Throwback Night for the Cup Series tomorrow night as well. So we're going to see a bunch of different throwback paint schemes on the racetrack. There are a lot for tonight, a lot for tomorrow as well for the Cup Series race, the Southern 500 tomorrow night. That's going to be a fun, probably a grueling long run one as well. And you can also hear the throwback music in the background as well. That, of course, is playing. It's the NASCAR theme, NASCAR and Speed theme, that old one. And we're going to have some different, I don't know what we're going to officially do. We're going to have some other different throwback stuff for tomorrow, probably even posted on the Instagram, not including paint schemes. We're going to have those obviously posted as well, but some more retro-looking stuff, maybe some throwbacks of prior seasons of FedEx here as well, and then some mentions on the broadcast. I don't know what we're officially going to be doing, like I said, but it should be fun tomorrow night. Yeah, the music is the only thing different for the broadcast tonight for throwback-wise. We're going to have, you know,
just a little hint for you.
Yeah. We'll have this music tomorrow as well, but we're going to have some other stuff you're going to probably like for tomorrow night on the broadcast and just everything else. All right, so cars will be on the racetrack here in just a few moments from Darlington Raceway, Darlington, South Carolina. Cameron Chandler is your winner of this race here last season. Will actually be making another Grand National start tonight. Obviously, he's full-time in the Cup Series, your points leader in the Cup Series as well, and Season 3 Grand National Series champion. Instead, going to be a very retro look out here in Darlington, South Carolina, under the lights pretty soon as well, as it always is in Darlington. I mean, a lot of drivers especially made their throwbacks. They are beautiful. We're going to go through pretty much each and every one of them. I'll give you a little bit of a backstory of what they are. So it should be fun tonight here for Throwback Night around the NASCAR iRacing Grand National or FedEx Grand National Series. All right, cars are on the racetrack in Darlington. Here we go from the track that's too tough to tame, shaped like an egg, because some guy didn't want to sell his pond. So that's how this racetrack got its shape, which is an interesting story. But anyways, cars are on track. Hang on. Cars are on track in Darlington. Welcome live to the Grand National Series Season 5 race from the Darlington Raceway. Here comes Cole Wilson, your first runner under speed, down the front straightaway. And into 1 and 2 he will go in the 22 machine. Flying his way. This paint scheme might look familiar. Cole Wilson, this actually is Season 2 car. I believe you're in it somewhat in Season 3 as well. His Hess machine. Bringing it back tonight. Obviously a different number, but pretty cool looking paint scheme for Cole Wilson in the 22. His own throwback to himself here today. So not a ton of drivers do that, but Cole Wilson is one of them that is doing that. Here's Christian Hercules. He's throwing it back to, I believe, the old Williams F1 car. That's pretty cool as well. Another pretty interesting, unique throwback. We really think it's a throwback to an F1 car, that's for sure. Hercules makes his way through 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. Here's the 31 of Cherry throwing it back to last week. That Monster Energy car. Here comes Keaton Shelton. This is actually a Chris Buescher 2015 Championship Fastenal throwback. Valvoline obviously is the sponsor today, but that's what this car is based off of. And He did a pretty good job as well. Looking at Eli Franklin, I'll let Eli describe what throwback he's running.
That's a good question because I kind of forgot what my throwback was. I think it was Ricky Rudd when he was in the 11 car.
Wow, forgot what the throwback is. Okay, but well, it's a beautiful looking Tide Rod. Yeah, Tide Ride there. Here's 48 of Knox Thompson. This is a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Amp Energy car from, I believe, 2008. Definitely a popular paint scheme. You're going to see a lot of unique throwbacks in this race, though. As he will head down this backstretch. It's also a great week
from my iRacing trading paints in Hollywood.
Here is Cole Clausen's car. This is one of the unique ones. God, I don't actually remember the driver name, but obviously I've seen this car before. I know what this is. Is this Jimmy Johnson? Is it? I don't know. Is this? I think it might be Jimmy Johnson's old Busch car, or I'm just being completely stupid. I'm not really sure. But obviously got Culvers on the car today for Cole Clausen and the red, white, and blue paint scheme. Here's Herklotz once again down the front straightaway. Here's the 8 of Cameron Chandler, your winner of this race last season. This is obviously a very iconic paint scheme. This is Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s Wrangler car. Obviously, you've probably seen this many times, and Cameron's going to be running this throwback tonight. He's got a pretty nice looking throwback for tomorrow that will be revealed as well. Jacob Clarino. This is a car that actually was a throwback in real life by Kyle Larson in 2023, but he's bringing it to today. This is one of Tony Stewart's old Nationwide Busch Series cars here in the 33, obviously for HendrickCars.com. Oh, and we just got word that got to read Fresh Trading Paints because Cherry actually does have a throwback. So sorry, Cherry, I was a little bit rude to you. Said you were throwing it back to last week, but clearly that wasn't true. Our guys here in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League do a fantastic job on these throwbacks. One of the most highly anticipated weeks of the season for both Grand National and Cup. Also, we're going to have, of course, a fan vote after this for both Grand National and Cup to decide wins or your favorite throwbacks. Fan vote. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't get the words out of my mouth. A fan vote for the fans' favorite throwbacks for both Grand National and Cup. We're going to have 2 winners. Oh, and around goes Knox Thompson. All right, let's get the throwback talk and break for a minute. It's Darlington, the track too tough to tame. Eli Franklin, you're in the wall here in the 24. But, man, this is obviously one of the hardest tracks in NASCAR. Drivers are not going to be able to get around this place easily today. What could you possibly expect around these 95 laps?
Well, this track is honestly one of the better tracks here on iRacing in real life too. It's a track that everybody knows. Very worn out surface. It's a very different track. Turns 1 and 2 is completely different than 3 and 4. And everybody knows you want to have your Darlington stripe. If you don't get one, you're not trying hard enough. And everybody some points will get the Darlington stripe if they're trying. And overall, it's a hard place to pass. And honestly, if you can run 3 and 4 well, and you run 1 and 2 average, you have a good chance with this race. Because if you get 3 and 4 down, you have a good chance.
Yeah, it should be very interesting around here at Darlington Raceway tonight. Let's actually look at your your standings entering the race. Of course, for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series. Obviously, there are full season points now. It is just an unbelievable championship battle at the front of the field. We have a tie for first place in the championship right now between Christian Herklotz and Cole Wilson. Herklotz still looking for his first win of the year. Cole, of course, just won last week in Michigan, and he also won at Charlotte as well. Knox Thompson only sits 1 point behind the 2 in third, so literally not 1 point separating the top 3. It is just unbelievable stuff over halfway through the season now in race 13. Who could have expected this? Jacob Clarino sits 4th here, winner at Rockingham. Cole Clausen, winner at Phoenix, sits 5th in points. 35 back. Ethan McMillan, of course, led the points way earlier this season. 5th is minus 56 right now. Rich Cherry, 7th in points. Hasn't really had the greatest of Grand National seasons. Obviously, 2 Cup wins this year, which is a breakout campaign for him, but only sits 7th in points and with no wins this season in Grand National. Here's another throwback that is Rojan Koch's car. This is a Tim Richmond car from the 80s. 27, obviously, same number as Tim Richmond. It's pretty beautiful, I would say so myself. So yeah, Roshan does today. Here comes the 79 of Ashton Miller. I don't believe this is this throwback. I'm not really sure. I have no idea. Maybe no. Looks like it might be a throwback, but it also looks modern, so I'm not really sure if that's a throwback from Miller. Here is Ethan McMillan, throwing it back to a completely random driver I've never heard of before. He does that. He just, MNF Racing, especially Ethan McMillan, is the best at kind of, you know, throwing it back to a guy you've probably never heard of before that raced in 1970 at Riverside. He just finds the most random paint schemes and then just does a throwback to it, so credit to him. It's obviously probably the oldest looking car in the field. Here's the 44. That is the Kevin Harvick throwback for, who actually is this? Benjamin Savato, sorry. So Jimmy John's in the car, Ford Mustang, obviously. So pretty nice for him. Here is Richard Cherry. Of course, we said his throwback didn't exist. It actually does. 29 Budweiser car here for Cherry. Beautiful looking car here. I believe just about everyone does a throwback here. Has a throwback here tonight. This is Ace Doc Morton in his 7 Hooters car, obviously throwing it back to Alan Kowicki. Seen that throwback being ran many times before now, and the Tony Stewart car goes around, and there's Fawcett as well. I thought I saw one car that wasn't a throwback. Miller, I'm not really sure about. It's CJ Erdman. What are we doing, CJ Erdman? Where's the throwback? Reese is on board. That's nice. But he's ran this paint scheme a lot this season. Not really sure. No throwback for CJ Erdman, apparently, in Grand National, at least. "17 minutes to go in the warm-up session at Darlington. Got a bit of a race going on between Cameron Chandler, who is currently top of the board, and Christian Herklotz in the double zeros. Got the 22 of Cole Wilson. Doing a spinner. Oh, hard on the wall down the back straightaway. That was the 23, Kyron Wilson. Not exactly sure what this throwback is, and I'm not really sure even if it is one. So, of course, around Darlington, 95 laps tonight for these Grand National Series drivers. Obviously, as always, no halfway break in the Grand National Series. We're going to have a bit of a crash here. Herklotz goes in the wall. There's Cole Wilson to the inside of the 8 of Cameron Chandler. So we're obviously over halfway through the season. The championship battle is tied at the front of the field as Chandler takes out, or I'm sorry, Wilson takes out Chandler. So Eli, as we've done maybe just about halfway through this session, what's been the feeling on the racetrack? I know these aren't really race conditions. We're going to be under the lights mostly tonight, but what's been the feeling so far?
Early on, you're very loose, but one thing about this track and car that you can do very well with lap times, my lap times, almost a second off compared to the leader. Now I cut it down almost half a 10 just from one fix, and that's learning how to use the throttle to not lose the car spin out. Because at this track, if you go full throttle, off throttle, and don't use any partial throttle, your back is going to kick out and you're going to spin out and your day's going to be done. So make sure to be good with partial throttle where you can have a little bit of speed, but not too much to where you're going to spin out. And one thing about this track that's very interesting is pit road. We've seen in real life in the Cup Series how hard it is to get one pit road. So if we do get green flag pit stops, the field window I'd say is around close to 60, maybe a little more. So we will have green flag pit stops. It'll be very interesting how these guys enter pit road because it's almost impossible to enter pit road safely.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I would assume we would have, if it goes green a lot, one green flag pit stop, I believe, as Matthew White here he is in a 3 car, obviously, a Dale Earnhardt Goodwrench car. Here's the 36. This is actually a Daniel Suarez throwback. Was this his first ever nationwide start back in 2014? I think so. Might be, actually. I know Payson Lindsay would definitely know, that's for sure.
And one thing about this track, if you ever want to watch Herklotz for next time by, when we get into 3 and 4, every inch you get close to the wall is a lot more speed in this car, as we're now in 1 and 2. It's also good on this to use all the bit of the track. On fresh tires, it's kind of hard because your car is very loose. but if he can save it, he does, but he's going to pull off. So, but the closer you can get to the wall, you can pick up the throttle a lot quicker, and you have a lot more speed. I can't get that close because I'm not confident in one myself, but two, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it is. We'll see who's able to get there. I would assume guys like Cameron Chandler, who of course top of the order right now, won this race last season, could have a chance of doing that. We'll see if a Cup driver wins tonight. Who knows? Maybe a Grand National driver. Grand National drivers have racked off some wins lately. Of course, Cole Wilson just won last week. We have a massive crash somewhere. Oh, and the 7A Stock Morton come back in front of the field. Here's the 9 of Bryce Benson. What a run in the Cup Series he's been on this season. He even has 2 Grand National wins this year, obviously being part-time. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. He's got a Pepsi paint scheme this week. Actually, is not a throwback to Jeff Gordon, which I'm kind of surprised by. We heard from Zane Rahman that it's actually not a throwback at all. It is just a normal Pepsi car, so interesting.
Yeah, I just ran a perfect 3 and 4, a couple inches off the wall, and gained 2.5 tenths of the lap set. The closer you can get to this wall without touching, the more time you can gain, so you get back on that throttle quicker.
This Cole Clausen, I believe, had a slight issue behind you, Eli.
Yeah, slightly. I'm about to have an issue, I think, in turn 1. The wheel is not turning.
Oh, wow. Oh, let's pull out the stretcher. Unfortunate. There's Eli in the wall.
And also, if it's throwback week, we should have a decent-sized field. Right now, it says we're going to have around 21. I expect maybe a couple more guys. We could have around a 25, 26 ball field, which is not an average for Grand National, but still. That's a decent-sized field for Darlington, which is hard to pass. Hopefully, smaller guys get the same thing.
Another big wreck here. Cole Wilson goes hard on the wall. I mean, yeah, once again, these guys, maybe besides maybe 2 or 3 of them, they've done a fantastic job in these Grand National Series throwbacks. I think we have maybe 18 throwbacks here tonight so far. Pretty cool. Side-by-side action back here. There's Jacob Clarino, teammates with Cameron Chandler. He's in the wall a little bit. Of course, this race is just over half distance of the Southern 500 tomorrow night for the Cup guys. That is going to be a long, grueling race, and this is going to be a long probably for the Grand National Series drivers, but man, tomorrow is going to be a grueling race. Not as bad as the Charlotte 600, obviously, even though it probably will be tougher to drive and handle your race car. Here is Clarino out of the inside. Oh, the 8 of Chandler. Cars in the wall ahead of him. There's the 9 of Bryce Benson. Others go around. There's the 70 of Ethan McMillan. Miller now side by side with Clausen. Gets the spot. He's currently second on the board. Ashton looks pretty solid so far. "11 minutes to go in this warm-up session from Darlington. Qualifying coming up next. Of course, 2 laps as always for normal oval racetrack. Car on the wall back there with Louis Clarino, who's currently sitting 8th on the board right now. There's a smoker, and there's a non-throwback Brandon Pfeiffer for some reason. Ruins the fun. They do, yeah, I'm going to be hard on them because they do have all the power in the world to make any sort of throwback they want. So it's kind of inexcusable not to run one.
And one thing is restarts are going to be very interesting here because turns 1 and 2 is hard alone. Side by side is going to be, I wouldn't say impossible, we've got the talent, but it's going to be very difficult, especially like we have pit strategy, you have different sets of tires, old and new tires. It'll be very interesting because kind of a one groove technically if you really think about it, how entry and exit for turn 1. It's kind of one groove, so we'll see how it is, especially the exit. If you're side by side on the exit, you better pray the inside line gets through.
Sorry, mistake there. Now we're back live. It is going to be interesting. It's tight quarters around here at Darlington Raceway. The initial, I guess, purpose of this racetrack was actually to race on the apron. when they first built this place, they didn't think anyone would go up there to where they race today. But yeah, clearly that's changed. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Why would you race on the apron?
That's a good question. I want to know who the first person was that maybe thought they were dumb to run that and had actual speed.
And clearly they started a bit of a trend. I mean, this racetrack has so much funny history. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, the reason this track is shaped like this, turn 1 is a different size than turn 2. I think down in turns 3 and 4, or yeah, 3 and 4, there's a pond that the guy, when they originally were building this track, didn't want to sell, so they had to build around the pond. And there you go. The pond's still here today, by the way.
I never knew that.
It's a pond. That's why it's still here. Yeah. Interesting story. Here's the 23 once again, Kyron Wilson. All right, about 8 minutes left to go in Darlington. The Grand National Series throwback race. But of course, points are still so tied to the front of the field. We're gonna have to watch that all night long as Matthew White goes stop the board here pretty late. So it looks like the track isn't really falling off. Have you probably have you seen that, Eli? The track honestly even getting better.
Yeah, the sun keep going down. There's a lot more grip on the track. It's very, you don't get loose so much. I think lap times will go up, get better throughout the night.
Okay, we will see. 8 minutes to go before qualifying gets underway here. Ooh, and there goes the 71 of Cole Lawson for a slide. His machine. There's Knox Thompson behind him. Packed house here for a Grand National race. It's going to be a fun one in Darlington.
You know, Matthew White's up there. You got watch this 3 and 4. I've never seen someone enter that high. Most people enter low and drift up the track. He enters high and stays high, and he gains a lot of time on the exits of turn 4. Because he gains that's a line that not a lot of people can master. Maybe not even some real-life drivers.
Now Bryce Benson goes top of the board here, so the Cup guys top 4 now. Like I was saying, Grand National guys said it could have a chance today, but Cup guys are going to be very tough to beat. Most notably, honestly, I would put Cameron Chandler, your winner of this race last season. Now, Cherry actually drops up to 3rd, so Tracky's getting better as Ronan Suarez gets turned around. Oh my God, a horrible crash for your Homestead winner. Of course, got his very surprising first career win there. Played the strategy perfectly then, and took his first ever NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series victory in Miami. After that very long suspension.
Yeah, they had a long suspension. Finally got a win at first race. Very unexpected, but you also have to think how long he's been out. He probably had a lot of time to prepare for that track, and he took advantage of that. But one thing,
sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it. I was talking about something else.
No, so talking about Suarez again, that was actually the track that he got suspended at Homestead last season, so he couldn't make his return into Homestead, of course, this year, and then won the race, so crazy how things work out. And go ahead, Eli.
Yeah, I was going to talk about these drivers. See, I went to the replay for a second. Look, most of these Cup drivers are running the line that we expect for tomorrow night. They enter high and stay high. I think that's almost every Cup driver that has been out here so far. Cameron Chandler's done it. I see Bryce Benson do it. I see Matthew White do it. That's 3 and 4. They enter high and stay high, which I think is almost impossible to do. But also Great National Drive, they have 5K iRating, they have 2,000. So that shows how much how much talent there is.
Oh man, Ashton Miller. I'm sorry, that's actually Aiden Holes in the 78. I don't know why I called him Ashton Miller. Gets taken out. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, that's a horrible crash down the 3 and 4. Aiden Holes is riding the wall on his side. Okay. Still not over. There's Victory Lane, but for some reason you're not allowed to drive to it. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why iRacing models Victory Lane, but, you know, it says you can't drive there. So top 5 so far. Cameron Chandler goes back top of the board. Benton second. White third. Cherry Miller. Look at your top 7 cars are separated by less than a tenth of a second. So things are close here in Darlington tonight.
That's what I think. These guys that are leading the points, how careful will they be early on? Because no matter how good you track, you're going to get yelled at this track. That's hard to pass, and one slightly mistake will hurt somebody. So you got to think how easy these guys will be early on in this race, trying to maybe, one, save tires, because the track likes to eat tires, and two, for these guys to keep the points lead or keep close to the lead. Because remember, Ethan McMillan, he was up there in points. He was leading the points for a little bit, and then he had about 2 or 3 stressful races where it wasn't his fault. He just got involved in wrecks, and he got to about 70 points out, and his puff hooks got diminished fairly badly. He's rebounded a little bit here, but still, that 70 points that's huge.
Yeah, of course, no stage points on the line for Grand National, so all the points are awarded at least for winning the pole. And then at lap number 95, the end of the race, because you get, of course, the race win, the race points for finishing positions, then the pole point, which already was awarded, then you get most laps led. You also get 0x. So from pole position to lap 90, from qualifying to lap end of qualifying to lap 95, there are no points awarded. Happens at the end of the race, and then, of course, before the race, none mid-race, like Cup. So, you know. I don't know if these guys want to push early like that, especially if you're full time.
They've got best left in 7s, which is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are flying around here. A lot of the Cup guys as well. I mean, just to put this in perspective, the top 6 drivers all have wins in the Cup Series, so, you know. Oh, and there's contact into the wall. Goes Rojan Code. Of course, all those guys also have won in the Grand National. There are 2 Grand National Series champions in the top 6. 1 Cup Series champion. So, yeah. And then you got Christian Urquhart 7th, who's never won in the league. But obviously having a very good season. Can his win be coming soon? Who knows? All right, just wrapping up this warm-up session in Darlington. Ready to qualify in a minute. Car on the wall, that's the 31. Oh, now the 22, Cole Wilson will spin.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, clearly something happens. Oh, yep, there we go. All right. Cole Wilson, I think he is the only driver throwing it back to himself tonight. The Season 2 Hess car. It's a good-looking paint scheme, don't get me wrong, but it is weird seeing it with the 22.
Very creative.
Yeah.
If you've been in the league this long, I think you've been after that.
Oh, and Eli gets taken out on coming off pit road. Oh, and he gets hit again. Oh man, he's getting slammed. You all right, driver?
Yeah, doing all right. We got 20 seconds to qualifying. We'll have to use that time to rehab.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna help. So I think we're gonna call some people out here. Aiden Holes doesn't have a throwback. Clear High Racing is doing pretty terrible. They don't have a throwback for Ashton Miller's on the team tonight. They don't have a throwback for CJ Airman. It's all Clear High. My God. At least Ryan Suarez has a throwback. My goodness. Gary Smith doesn't have a throwback, but he's running his normal really weird-looking paint scheme, but Mason Ward I don't think has one either. He's pulled onto the track here, but I think we have 18 or so. Around goes Cameron Chandler in the wall. Okay.
And a 25 car field, about as I expected. That's still a decent field for this, especially the track and all that. But a good field overall for this race, and qualifying is going to be very important here because it's hard to pass.
All right, here we go. Qualifying in Darlington.
What's predictions for pole? Who's your guy to pick?
Cameron Chandler. It's going to be very boring with this one.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Pretty lame for that.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I don't know, because this track you can easily scrape the ball on the lap.
Wait, you don't got yourself?
That's good. No, I'm not qualifying. I'm still at the back.
Oh, wow.
No. I'm gonna probably go with. I don't know. I feel like Kirkwood's gonna put down a good lap here.
Well, we'll see. It's gonna be tough for him to do. He was 7th in practice, but here we go. Qualifying underway in Darlington for the Grand National Series. First one down the front straightaway is that 44 of Benjamin Savoto. Obviously got Jimmy Jones in the car today. Throwing it back to Kevin Harvick. Wyatt Youngblood running a throwback from last week in his Road Ranger car. 36 of Marquez Romas and the Daniel Suarez throwback. Keith Shelton, the Chris Buescher throwback. And here comes Aiden Holes, Cup Series regular. So far, Chandler, Herklott's top. Miller is third. Of course, got 2 laps. Smith is P3. McMillan goes fourth. He's in the wall, and McMillan spins. That'll be his qualifying over. Clarino is third.
Wow, what a lap by Chandler. He went 2/10 quicker than he was in practice and ran into the sixes. In practice, we're getting hot steps. He went a mid-six. That's impressive. Matthew White goes 29.7 flat. Very impressive lap times.
Yeah, Matthew White's got another chance here in the 3 car. He'll push on lap 2. Down the back stretch goes that 3 Dale Earnhardt car. Also got Richard Cherry was top 5 in practice. Jacob Clarino is third. How about Kylan Wilson is P5. Here comes Cherry, but a lot of heavy hitters left to go. Miller's only 9th, half second off.
And White improves, but not enough.
Yeah, that's a slight improvement. Very slight.
Still improvement.
Brandon Pfeiffer there in the 18 through 3 and 4. In the wall he goes. There's the 25 of Mason Ward. There's the 37 of Youngblood. I will I'm gonna make sure real quick that Youngblood isn't running a throwback, and I'm just, not really reloading trading paints again. All right, 2 minutes to go here. Still got guys like Bryce Benson yet to qualify, but on provisional pole right now is Cameron Chandler. Here comes Knox Thompson. He, of course, is third in points. What an impressive season. He's only 8th here, though, in qualifying. Could definitely be better for Thompson. Cameron is still on the track, but he, of course, is on provisional pole.
Cherry's first lap is pretty good. Got him P5. Now he's going to second lap. Can he get pole? Let's see as he passes the start and finish line. He will go quicker. He will go up to third. So improvement there, and now he'll start second row.
Yeah, we've seen improvements on the second lap all day long so far here in qualifying. Track just seems to be getting better and better. Yeah, Bryce could be a favor for pole. Cole Wilson as well on the track in the 22. Cole is pushing that car to the wall. Man.
Bryce Benson second by 4/1000ths of a second to Cameron Chandler.
I mean, we've, like we said, seen improvements on lap 2 all day long. Gotta watch this 9. What a season Bryce had in the league. 6 Cup Series wins this year. Unbelievable. Nobody else has more than 2. Came into the season winless in the Cup Series. And only 1 Grand National win to his name through 4 seasons. And all of a sudden has just lit it up here in Season 5. Here he comes. Lap 2 down the front straightaway. Is it pole? Across the line for the 9.
Wow.
By barely anything. Bryce Benson goes top of the board, beats Cameron Chandler, and is on provisional pole in Darlington. Cole Wilson got in the wall. He's 5th. But he's done here. That car is destroyed.
And that'll probably do for qualifying.
Oh, and he hits the pit barrels. Bryce Benson on pole in Darlington. What a lap by the 9. Unbelievable. And you look at the top 4, only separated by less than 1/10 of a second. Man, what a session. All right, so time running down here in Darlington. All right, well, welcome live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series Season 5 race in Darlington. It's the throwback race. It's the track too tough to tame, and these Cup drivers are going to be too tough to tame. Could be too tough to tame for some of these Grand National regulars, but we'll have to wait and see. On pole, how about a season for Bryce Benson? Just unbelievable. He will, Bryce, of course, will start on pole 2. His outside will be Cameron Chandler in the 8. Row number 2 will be Matthew White in the 3 car. Dale Earnhardt throwback, and then got Cherry Kevin Harvick throwback starting in 4th. Cole Wilson throwing back to himself in Season 2 will start 5th. Jacob Clarino and the Tony Stewart throwback will start on his outside in 6th. The Williams F1 car of Christian Herclass will start 7th. Kyron Wilson will start in P8. Gary Smith will start 9th, and the Dale Earnhardt Jr. throwback from 2008, that AMP Energy car, Knox Thompson, top 3 in points, will start in 10th. The points battle is so insane. Currently now, if the race goes green, when the race goes green, Cole Wilson will have the edge over over Christian Herclass. You got another contender Clarino up here. Cherry still technically in contention, but P7. Of course, Knox Thompson, 3rd in points, starts 10th. It is the track that's too tough to tame. Darlington Raceway. Place host of the Grand National Series, round 13 of the season. It's a classic night, a throwback week. Got the Southern 500 tomorrow. A beautiful day of racing for Darlington. Should be beautiful weather as well tomorrow night. All right, Ashton Miller did my job. Anyways, here we go. Cars now roll off the grid in Darlington. Sun is setting. We'll be under the lights pretty shortly as well. So you're going to have to keep your nose clean all day long. Of course, no points awarded for this, obviously, for the stage. There's no stage. So no guaranteed cautions in this one. I guess best case scenario for these drivers is just stay out front, lead every lap, try to at least, and maybe win the race. So Eli, what's our fuel window looking like right now?
I got somewhere around 60, I think, maybe a little longer than 60, but I don't think you want to go for 60 with these tires. So I think these guys have a lot of flexibility with pit stops. You can do a 2-stopper, you can do a 3-stopper because we have 3 sets of tires. But we'll see here tonight. It's going to be very interesting. Oh, not 1-stopper or a 2-stopper. I don't say 3-stopper. That'd be kind of insane. But 2-stopper, it could be an option, but I think you might lose a little too much time. But if you want to go fast, 2-stopper.
Yeah, of course, got 3 sets of tires in the pits for these guys tonight as the leaders will come down to check pit road speed and their pit boxes, as always, led by Bryce Benson on pole yet again. I mean, Bryce just unbelievable through Grand National and Cup this season. I don't know where he's came from. I mean, he's even been faster. Earlier in the season, he was just getting really lucky, but lately he's been just quicker. One of the quickest cars on the track, straight up. So it's been really impressive to watch. Bryce Benson is just rise into the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series victory lane. And Grand National, of course, as well.
One thing about that, it has all those wins. Cameron Chandler's at least a points.
Yeah, I know. Cameron only 2 wins this year. I mean, I say only, but he's been so consistent all year long. Choose cone, of course, is always down the front straightaway if we get cautions in this race. Not guaranteed, of course, but it's Darlington, so, you know. Well, it's a beautiful night of racing from Darlington, South Carolina. These cars all decked out in throwback paint schemes. It's a classic look from all different generations of NASCAR. We're ready for hopefully a fun night. Race 13 of the Grand National Series season. The championship battle up front with just about 12 races to go is insane. What could happen today to shake things up even more at the track too tough to tame? Here we go. Pace car is in. You don't get a stripe here. Like Eli said, you aren't trying hard enough. Bryce Benton, Cameron Chandler, Cup Series teammates lead us to the front row. We are underway and racing for the Darlington Raceway. Let's go in Grand National. Side by side with the lead down the back straightaway. Benton slides on the inside lane. Might have to give it the lead up to Cameron Chandler. He will. Chandler takes it. They're 3 and 4. Here comes Matthew White for second around the outside lane. White around the outside of Bryce Benton for P2. It looks like he is going to get in the wall a little bit. Oh, contact again. Not clear just yet. Now he is clear. And the line is they complete lap 1. Leading it, of course, is Cameron Chandler. Oh, there is contact at the wall. Goes one car. That was Christian Erklotz, currently tied for the points lead. Gary Smith to his inside. Everyone clean mostly so far down the back straightaway. First car in the line, that's Rajon Koch, side by side with Wyatt Youngblood. There's Ethan McMillan behind him as well. Just got to get in line early in Darlington. As they head down the front straightaway to lap 3. Side by side. Youngblood up front, of course, is Cameron Chandler, your winner of this race last season. Matthew White now second. Bryce Benton currently P3. One car really loose down the back straightaway. That was Gary Smith, and knocks Thompson on his bumper. Thompson will look to the inside, and then 48 car. Ooh, they're going to slide around. The lights already come on here in Darlington. Of course, this race does start later than the Cup race tomorrow night. Wyatt Youngblood is getting just bullied around here. Falls back to 10th place, side by side with Youngblood. Oh, more contact on the wall. He goes again down the backstretch. Kyron Wilson back there to try to come as well. Ethan McMillan in the 70 car. McMillan gets washed on the racetrack. Here is Cole Wilson trying to battle with Cherry. Oh, Cameron Chandler just had an issue. He just got in the wall. Cameron is slow. Now we get a battle for the lead side by side between Matthew White. Cameron just fell back to 5th. What just happens? Door to door for the lead. Bryce Benton at the inside of White. There's contact once more. White hits the wall, and Benton retakes the lead. Cameron's got damage. Just hit the wall. Like you saw, back to 5th now. After leading the race, what could have possibly happened up front? As Cole Wilson passes Cherry for 3rd. I mean, this is why it's called Too Tough to Tame. A driver like Cameron Chandler leading the Cup points right now, a Grand National Series champion, one winner of this race last year, hits the wall on lap 5, loses the lead, has damage, and now he's back to 6th. Unbelievable. You can see the damage on that right side of the race car for Cameron Chandler. Not how he needs to start off his race. No, there's Erklotz battling for P6. Battle for the lead again. To the inside, Matthew White goes. He is not giving up yet. He's still there on Bryce Benton to his quarter panel. Cole Wilson waiting back in the wings as well. 3-way battle for the lead in Darlington. Matthew White now of run to the bumper of that 9 car. Ooh, he goes into the inside. We got a car on the wall back there. There was Ethan McMillan. There's more contact back there. Everyone, I think, kept it straight, though. White will be looking. Here he is, trying to go inside. He is there, side by side with Bryce Benton for the lead yet again. Here comes Matthew White. Here comes Cole Wilson as well to the outside of White for a second. These two had a great battle in Michigan for the win last week. Oh, almost contact. Wilson clears him up the P2. Of course, he won that Michigan race. Though still chasing Bryce Benton. Richard Cherry trying to come into play as well in P4. Chandler still is holding on the 6th. Looks like he's kind of stabilized there, but of course has that damage on the right rear quarter panel, and then of course in the front of the race car as well. Handling is not going to be too great, I don't think, for Cameron Chandler now after that contact. But he is trying to look to the inside of his teammate, Jacob Clarino, P5. Erklotz as well actually looking to the inside of Cameron now. This is a battle for 6. He's on the wall again. And Erklotz is going to be clear to P6. Yeah, Chandler, this is just not what he needed to see at all for that 8 car. Here is Gary Smith now trying to pass him for 7th place. And the wall again, and Cameron, he is struggling. Big time now. Back to 8th. Bryce Benton still leads on lap 10 in Darlington. Cole Wilson now in 2nd. Matthew White is 3rd. There's Sherry currently running in 4th behind them both. Come to 10 laps complete that time up. Just inches away from the wall. Everybody in this field. Cameron, of course, now back to 8th after getting passed by Smith. Here comes Knox Thompson trying to put him under attack for that 8th spot. Contact back there. That was Ashton Miller, who was top 5 in practice. Had a terrible qualifying, though. Qualified back outside the top 10. Looking at a slide job. 37 of Youngblood puts him in the wall a little bit to break inside of the 11. Here's Mason Ward to the inside of Youngblood for 12. He grabs that spot now. Youngblood not liking that. He's going to try to drop 2s inside, but cannot get there. Up front, Benson now holds about a 2:10 lead over Matthew White in 2nd. 3rd is currently Cole Wilson, the 22 machine. Oh, the wall, Chandler, big time, down the backstretch. He hit it pretty hard. Loses the spot down to Knox Thompson. He is just continues to struggle back to 9th place now. Unbelievable. After hitting the wall very hard while leading the race, he has fallen back to P9. I mean, it has just been a disaster so far for Chandler. He is praying for a yellow at this point. Got about the lead. Here comes Matthew White to the inside of Bryce Benson again. Cole Wilson back there in 3rd trying to make something happen. And here comes Cherry now to the inside of Wilson. White side by side. The inside hasn't worked lately for him. Benson going to roll that top through 3 and 4. He is again clear. Now here comes Cherry. Oh, there's contact between Cherry and Wilson, teammates. Cherry really loose down in a 1 and 2 on the bottom. Wilson in the wall hard. That was pretty good contact. He's in the wall again. He'll lose another spot to Quirino. Now even, oh, Turklot somehow saved it. 2 of the points leaders nearly wrecked. Unbelievable. That could have been catastrophic. Gary Smith there in the middle nearly wrecked both Cole Wilson and Jacob Christian Turklotz. Of course, both 1-2 in the points right now. Unbelievable. Battle up front for the lead. Matthew White going to try to chase down Benson yet again. It's just been kind of a struggle to complete the pass in the bottom, though, for Matthew. Bryce, of course, started on the pole, lost the lead on lap 1 to Cameron Chandler. Cameron is, of course, after hitting the wall, falling back now to 10th. Just got passed by Ashton Miller, who is starting to march his way through the front of the field here. There's Kylan Wilson. Oh, yeah, he is just trying to hang on for dear life at this point. Cameron Chandler is.
And honestly, tires feel like he ran 35 laps. We're not 35 laps.
I mean, you got to manage your stuff around Darlington, even in the Grand National race. It's going to be especially apparent in the Cup Series tomorrow. Tire management is going to be crucial in this race. This place absolutely eats up tires. Sun is basically set in Darlington. We're fully under the lights from the track. Too tough to tame, and Cameron Chandler has now fallen to 13th. Got passed by Ronan Suarez. Back here in 15th place, 14th place, the 70 of Aiden Holes, his teammate. At 94 Redmond, Brandon Pfeiffer. You got Keaton Shelton, Marquez Ramos, and Cole Clausen running in 19th, not having the greatest run. White Youngwood just fell back to 20th. He has really fallen off the pace. There's Ethan McMillan back there. Eli Franklin outside the top 20. And your leaders, other lap cars, your leaders here heading down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Top 5 still separated by less than a tenth, less than a second, I should say. But these top 4 just nose to tail at the front of the field coming to lap 20. I mean, White has been pressuring that 9. We don't know if Bryce is saving or not. But Matthew White definitely seems quicker. Just cannot find a way around him just yet. Caution free all race long. Green flag pit stops will happen if we stay caution free. Oh! Gary Smith nearly wrecked down the front straightaway, currently running in P6. Herklot's on his bumper for that spot. Just got under from him there. My goodness. Oh, Matthew White had an issue. Here comes Cherry for second. 2 is inside. Got tight off corner exit there, and now Cherry taking advantage of that straight away. Side by side, back into 3 and 4. White on the outside. Almost hits the wall a little bit. And that is Richard Cherry to P2 now. We'll try to run down this 9-car Benson. Cherry, of course, I don't know what that was. Cherry, of course, would be a very interesting winner tonight. Be his first Grand National win of the season. Checking on Cameron Chandler, he is just trying to ride around back here in 13th place. What a terrible night for him.
I wonder if he has wheel damage.
I mean, I would expect
that's
it.
The guy you don't really expect a guy like that at the outside top 10 unless he has some sort of issue.
No,
hit the ball a couple times, all right, but that sounds a little more serious than just hitting the ball a couple times.
It definitely is. The entire quarter panel's caved in. His front looks pretty messed up as well. It was a hard shot. Just an early mistake you don't see from a guy like Cameron Chandler while leading the race as well. Car is slow, I believe, somewhere. I just heard something in the wall. I guess I was hearing things. Okay. Everybody, of course, still running on the lead lap for now. Back to last place, Rajan Koch. Here's Miller up at P8. Oh, Kyron Wilson nearly lost his car. They're off corner exit. Here comes Mason Ward to the inside of Knox Thompson. Mason actually having a good job, a good run here, looking to get 10th. How about that? He grabs that spot. To P10 he goes. Up front, of course, Benton still leads the race. Cherry in second. Matthew White running at your top 4, top 3. Actually, rounding at your top 4, of course, is Jacob Clarino. What a run he's having so far. Seems to be very good at the tracks that are pretty tough, just like Rockingham, of course, winning that race, now running in P4 today. So Eli, if you can give us a bit of an update right now, when would you expect cars to maybe start to peel down pit road?
Well, I'm thinking a 2-stop mistake. So a 2-stop that I expect to be like 33. So you put it at the thirds, technically, 2 pit stops. But field window's 40. If these guys would do 1 stop, they'll split it.
I mean, I would expect the leaders could probably save a lot more than maybe the guys inexperienced towards the back of the field in Grand National. Of course, there are a lot of rookies here. On lap 27, Gary Smith looks pretty quick here back in P6. Kind of runs down Cole Wilson.
The only thing you got to worry about is if you fail lap 33, you're probably going to lap it down. If caution comes out, that can almost end your day.
Yeah, you don't want to get unlucky with some pit strategy like that. We've seen some drivers get bit by that this season. Do not want that. Leaders are going to be close to traffic. That is Rajan Koch and Ben Zavada running in the back. Being caught by your leaders.
Out.
Oh, just like that, the yellow is out. What is it? I believe, oh, Knox Thompson goes around. 48. Of course, Knox Thompson goes for a spin. What happened? Let's take a look.
Cameron's yelling at him, so I assume it's Cameron and Knox Thompson.
Oh, yeah, it is. Here's Chandler to his quarter panel. Thompson, I don't know if he got toe. Yeah, he just lost it. He had a little bit of contact from Cameron, saved it, and then he just lost it all on his own, it looked like. Let's ride along with the 48 car through this accident. So I would assume everyone would pit now. Caution out lap 29 for the first time today.
Now here you make it to the end of the field, but I don't know if you want to risk your tires going 65 laps.
Yeah, you would have to nurse, especially if it went green all the way, you have to nurse that thing around. Yeah, Thompson just lost it after the contact there. Luckily, avoids any contact with the wall, but brings out the yellow here for the first time today. All right, so leaders, or everyone, okay, iRacing is being annoying right now, but everyone should be on pit road. And here they come. You're not going to see anyone stay out at Darlington, even if the run is only like 10 or so laps, unless you start running out of tires. That's the only way you're going to see that. But here they come to pit. For Fish Goodyear's much fuel as you need. Cameron Chandler going to repair his car, I would assume, and he would try to just salvage what he can in this race.
Honestly, the tires weren't bad. Well, 74 in the right front and 90s everywhere else. So tire wear wasn't too bad. It just felt it in the car like it felt like.
How about Matthew White? Oh, and Bryce Benson has a speeding penalty. Wow! Lost the lead on pit road. Same thing with Richard Cheery. Both of them caught speeding on pit road. Cheery and Benson going to the back. That's a big story in this race. That will assume the lead to Matthew White. Cole Wilson will have the front row. Or at least we'll see after the shoes. But how about that? Speeding on pit road for both Bryce Benson and Richard Cheery. You cannot do that. Luckily, get that out of the way early in the race. But, I mean, for a Grand National race, they're not that long. This was the Southern 500, especially with another guaranteed caution coming. Then, at this point in the race, you would be probably okay. Matthew chooses the outside here. Wilson goes outside, looking actually the front row to Clarino. It's so unfortunate for those guys in the back speeding on pit road. Also got this kind of caution kind of saved Rojan Koch and Ben Civetto. Some more cars roll up here. They're about to be lapped in the next few laps, but they will be saved here, and we still have all cars on the lead lap right now.
Very interesting. They got two spin on pit road, Benson and Cheery. It's going to be hard to get back to the front. I think for them, they're hoping for a long green flag run so they can slowly, methodically get by people, hoping for a caution. You're probably about 15, 20 laps ago. I think that's the best case scenario for them.
Yeah, they're going to have their work cut out for them. It's obviously hard to pass here at Darlington Raceway. I mean, it hasn't been overly hard unless it's for the lead today. We've seen drivers drive their way through the field like Ashton Miller, who's now in P5. Pace cars back in. First caution of the day is ending. We're going to restart with Matthew White and Jacob Clarino on the front row here on lap 32 as we go back to green in Darlington. So the restart zone, we're back underway. Good start for the outside and Matthew White. He's probably very pleased that both Cheery and Benson, who were, by the way, ahead of him at the time of caution, they were your 1-2 when the yellow came out, were speeding. But here comes Cole Wilson looking for the lead to the inside to his quarter panel. He is there. Oh, he slides at the bottom. Got a loose car down the back straightaway. That was a Gary Smith. He lost it. Oh, and one car almost got hit. That was Cole Kloss. Nearly ran into the back of the 27 Rojan Koch. Insane restart. Somehow everyone saves it. I don't know how nobody wrecked there. It was just about to happen, then they didn't. Miller got up to P3.
Caution's out again.
Oh.
I assume it's by CJ and Bryce trying to pass.
It's Cameron Chandler. Cameron Chandler goes around.
Oh, boy.
And his night of misery continues. Let's take a look. So Chandler here. Oh, you saw one car, that was Ben Zavada hit the wall. Then he lets Cameron somehow. Chandler goes around. I do want to see this from the blimp. This is going to be a pretty interesting view. So
Youngblood ran into the back of him, I believe.
Oh. As Landon Johnson joins the booth, let's look here. So the 44, oh yeah, it was White Youngblood. He got into the back of Chandler. Oh man, see Cole Kloss in that 36 as well, just avoiding that 8 car. And Cameron Chandler, this run for him, this is going to be one to forget if he can't make anything else happen. So unfortunate for the driver of the 8 car. As Landon Johnson, welcome to the booth. We're now under our second caution of the night after having nearly a 30-lap green flag run. Speeding on pit road before this caution were, of course, Bryce Benson and Rich Cherry, which were your 1-2 before the yellow came out. So big storyline in the race. Matthew White now leads.
Yeah, I see that.
Cool.
My boy Eli Franklin representing in 13th. Not no more.
All right, so, I mean, I was saying you're going to pit on every caution in this race, but you only get 3 sets. You're not going to pit now after a half a lap green flag run. That's just makes no sense. We'll choose next time by as well. So,
Lan, what's your personal opinion? What is so special about this track, and how difficult is it to pass people on this track?
How special this track is?
Just what's your opinion on the track?
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, like the real life racing, it can be decent, but like I've never been good at Darlington. The racing, it's pretty good. I mean, it's got a lot of history with NASCAR. I mean, not the biggest fan of the track, but it deserves to have a good race.
all right, so we're on lap 35, and Darlington under caution for the second time today. See, cars on pit road, those the 44 for Savoto, who is damaged now. Max Thompson trying to get his thing repaired. Even though he spun out, I think this caution actually helps Cameron, because he can now repair his car to nearly the fullest, or at least the body. We don't know what's going on under that race car. Outside here, choosing is Matthew White. To the inside goes Cole Wilson. You see outside, outside, inside, inside, behind them. All right, Landon Johnson, what could you expect on this restart?
I don't know. I just I only got to watch about 2 or 3 laps, and kind of crazy in the back half of the field. But I mean, like these front guys, they got single filed out.
We're 3 wide
for the
back
most
here,
part.
by the way.
I said in the back they were crazy.
Yeah, I know. They were just 3 wide with the caution. I don't know what they were doing. Bryce Benson actually chooses up the 13th here, so could have been worse for Bryce. I want to see where Cherry is. He is currently 17th, so definitely worse than Cherry than Bryce currently. We'll see if Bryce is able to drive his way back to the front of the field after winning the pole, leading the most laps so far. White and Wilson.
If we go green, I think there's a good chance these guys come down pit road. If we get a couple more yellows, I assume we're just gonna do pit stops and go
We'll see how the rest of this plays out. I don't think you can make it on tires at the end. That's going to be pretty hard to do. With 65 to go. Back to green, 64 to go. Back to green in Darlington. Wilson actually got a good jump on Matthew White. Here he is, the inside by side for the lead. Door to door through 1 and 2. Oh, even with each other, they're almost making contact. Matthew's got to lift a little bit. He's in the wall. Here comes Ashton Miller, 3 wide to the bottom. What a run to the inside lane. Wilson backs out of the gas. Miller on the bottom. White's going to wrap the top to the wall. White actually might come out okay on this. He will. He'll take the lead. Miller to P2. Wilson, thank God he backed out of the throttle there because, man, that could have been a disaster. He is back to 3rd. White now leads the race. They all went away okay back there as well. Here's Bryce Benson already up to 8th place.
Max Thompson, the guy, the 3rd in points, just basically wrecked out, I think. As we're still green.
No caution for some reason now. I don't know what iRacing's doing. We stay green. I don't know why that's not a caution, but single car spins are, but okay. Thompson is now, out of the race. That is unbelievable. Came into this race impressively 3rd in points. That is going to hurt him so much, and Matthew White in the wall for the lead. Here comes Miller. Thompson is going to be finishing last, guaranteed in this race. He'll be the first car out, coming to lap 40. Unbelievable. Now Miller is trying to run down Matthew White to the front of the field. Miller started outside the top 10, like I mentioned earlier. Not a good qualifying lap at all. But he had pace in practice, so I didn't worry too much. And now he's going to battle for the lead with Matthew White. Where will he go? White is definitely loose. Yeah, Knox Thompson, of course, officially out of the race. This is going to hurt him so much in points. Going to be the lowest scoring driver in the field. Single file throughout most of the field. I don't think there's really any side-by-side battles. Actually, Eli's trying to go to the inside of Grosjean Coke. Doesn't make it happen, though. He got a slow car, the 44 Savoto, of course, now going to be a lap car. He was in that wreck with Thompson that did not bring up the caution. There's Aiden Holes past Brandon Piper for, I believe, 9th. 44 links out. Gets out of the way, though. He'll mess up my camera work, but there's Knox Thompson. Officially not out of the race, actually. I spoke too soon, but he is currently 4 laps down and in the pits. Here we go. Jacob Plurino and Christian Herklotz now battling for P4. And Bryce Benson up to P7. So impressive. Cherry's only up to 12th, and there is a mess back here side by side. Aiden Holes to the outside. There's Cherry behind them. Cole Clausen involved. Brayton Piper almost in the wall again to go a couple of guys. Cameron Chandler back here as well in 15th. Side by side, Piper to the inside of Holes once more. More contact down the backstretch. He gets in the wall. Here comes Cole Clausen, takes him 3 wide. Still 3 wide in the middle. Oh, Piper, more contact. Holes gets on the wall. Gotta sort it out back here. My goodness. There's a mess back here in Darlington. There's Cameron Chandler, pushes Aiden Holes back into 1 and 2. Now gets the bumper of that 29 of Cherry. McMillan to the outside as well. Oh, and they're, man.
Very impressive to one of these guys with that big tag. I see them all in front. I'm just waiting for one of them to just mess up.
Oh, here's Kyron Wilson trying to pull a slide jump. Aiden Holes doesn't work. He makes contact with that 78 car. They were quiet here back about 5 laps ago. I don't know what happens. It is just a melee back here now. Shelton looking inside of Ethan McMillan back here. And now Urban, I believe, in the wall. Urban now looks inside on that 78 of Holes. Holes actually running a pretty cool Martin Truex Jr. throwback tomorrow night in the Cup Series. See that announces, oh, and the wall goes Erdman. He gets tight. Here comes McMillan to his inside. He gets the spot. Oh, 4 cars to the wall. Keaton Shelton. They're just going back and forth here. Towards the back of the field. We got to check up front as they're now single file. It is still Matthew White up front with Miller in second. Wilson, Herklotz, Bruno, Benson, Smith, Ward, Suarez, Clausen, your top 10. White now 3/10 out on that 22. Benson now P6. Definitely still has a lot of pace in that 9 car. Can he go back to win the race? In the wall goes Gary Smith. Price actually at the fence a little bit as well. Loreno has been trying to pass that 0-0 of Herklotz for a few laps now. This is the battle for 4th. So we still expect a pit stop, especially if it goes green. You can just about make it to the end on fuel, but tires, that's a different story. Looking back throughout the field, Cole Clausen now running inside of the top 10. Didn't start off the race really good at all. I believe he was running 19th. Good recovery so far for the driver of the 71, currently P5 in the points. And here comes Clarino to the inside of Herklotz for 4th. Bryce Benson back there as well. Will he try to get mixed up in this thing? We'll see. Door to door, back into 3 and 4. Clarino to the door to the quarter panel, trying to race him off corner exit side by side, going to try to side draft down this front straightaway. He will get in line. Here comes Bryce Benson. He blocks. Benson goes outside. More contact again. Clarino sideways in the wall hard. That was a big shot. He stays going. More contact again between Benson and Clarino. Oh, they make contact again. 3 wide. Here comes Gary Smith to the inside. Clarino's in the wall. He's falling back. Has damage. Gary Smith to the inside of Benson. Side by side. Man, that got tight. Somehow they all save it, but Jacob Clarino, just like his teammate earlier, Cameron Chandler, has damage, and now he looks slow. I mean, that was a pretty aggressive battle for 5th place. My goodness.
Well, I'm hearing that over Raiders. I think Sherry's overheating. He's dropping back like a lot, trying to make sure he doesn't blow the motor. He is back to Heat 19 now.
That's unfortunate for Richard Cherry after starting this race inside the top 5 and running second at one point before a speeding penalty. Not really sure why he would be overheating. Maybe some contact back there. Punched the nose in. Who knows? Kind of look back on him. There he is in the 29, currently running in 19th. Oh, yeah, that nose is punched in. That's unfortunate for Cherry. Not in the Grand National season he's won it at all. Oh, we got a slow car. That's the 44 Savoda. He is, oh my, what is he doing? Unbelievable. Right in front of Ron and Suarez. Jacob Clarino stood to the outside. He's continues to be slow. That 44 of Savoda way in the way there. He's got to get that thing out of the way and off the track in a minute. He is dangerously slow after getting that damage. Lawson passes Suarez for 9th. Cameron Chandler still runs P11. So he is not completely out of this race, but he would have to have some more cautions probably fall his way. Clarino trying to hold on to 8th, but Clausen is there. He's going to drop to the inside. No, here comes Suarez now to the inside on both them. Suarez actually has to get back in line. Chandler now trying to get inside the top 10. He's coming. And Matthew White has pulled out a 1.2 second lead over Ashton Miller.
And Youngblood's on pit road. I think he towed the car. I don't know what happened to him.
Cameron Chandler. We're going to look at why Youngblood. No, he's actually just pitting. Normal pit stop. So this is your first car to come down pit road. Here comes Chandler for P10 and Cole Clausen looking inside of Jacob Clarino in front of them. That's for 9th. Oh, Clarino in the wall. That's going to give Clausen the spot. Now Clarino again tight in the wall. He's going to get passed by Suarez in the wall again. Oh, man. This is so unfortunate for Jacob Clarino. And this is another driver. Top 5 in points. Now big issues. He falls back outside the top 10. Here's Chandler now looking at P9. Trying to get there in Suarez. Clausen there running in 8th. He has slowly but surely made his way to the front of this field, and battle for 2nd is on between Miller and Wilson. Wilson is definitely quicker. They're allowing Matthew White just to drive away. So, of course, Youngblood, that first car to pit, he's actually still on pit road. Definitely an issue here at the 37. Definitely not just a normal pit stop. Not really sure what's going on with him. Big battle back here again. 3-way battle for 8th place. Cole Clausen has it right now, but here comes that 8 car of Cameron Chandler to the outside for 9th on Suarez. Pfeiffer, where's he going to go? Cameron is clear now. He's going to try to run down Clausen for P8. There he is to the inside. We're going to try to get to his quarter panel. Going to wash him up the racetrack. Cole Clausen back clear in 8th. Brandon Pfeiffer now inside of the top 10 past Suarez, your winner in Miami. Within this 4-way battle, the only non-winner in Grand National is Brandon Pfeiffer. And here comes Chandler to the inside of Clausen, your Phoenix winner. Side by side for P number 9. Now it's speed number 8, and Cameron has it. Here comes Braden Piper as well. Piper gets tied up the racetrack nearly in the wall, and here comes Suarez. He passes him and clears him. Kyron Wilson as well. Just shows you how quickly a mistake can turn into positions lost for Brandon Piper. And that 8 car, remember, he looks very, very quick now all of a sudden. Definitely got his thing mostly repaired, but wants to probably see a couple of caution flags with 36 laps to go in Darlington. Matthew White now 2.2 second lead over Ashton Miller. There's Herklotz currently running in P5. Oh, Miller got sideways door to door now with Cole Wilson. Nearly lost that race car. Here comes Wilson for second. Bryce Benton there as well. Wilson goes up the racetrack, gets tight. Here comes Benton for third. He is looking, trying to recover from that speeding penalty earlier. Side by side to his quarter panel. Down the backstretch, has to fall back in line now. Herklotz has been brought to the battle now. But Benton is again to the quarter panel for the bumper of that 22 machine. Yeah, Cole Wilson is doing everything he can to hold on, but Bryce is getting to his quarter panel for third. All this racing is just allowing Matthew White, sorry about that little bit of a voice crack. It's just allowing Matthew White to pull away now 3.3 seconds. He is really extending his gap. This guy's gonna get something figured out back here. Wyatt Youngblood there on fresh tires, currently a few laps down. Back on the track. So Eli, you think pit road will be open pretty soon here for these leaders?
Oh well, pit road's open for me because I just took it down pit road, so we'll see.
Oh.
I think these guys will pit, but there's I think a guy or two that will stay out.
We'll see. Tires are gonna be hard to manage, but you never know. Eli now rolls off pit road in the 24. So first car to make from at least the lead lap, first car to make a normal green flag pit stop there. Of course, you're going to see here, Eli, even though he doesn't have race-winning pace, he's going to be so much quicker than these guys inside the top 5. And look at the grip he has. Ooh, contact! Benton and Wilson, they both get sideways. They both save it right in front of Franklin.
And the caution is out.
Oh.
That's great.
That's not good news for Eli. What happened? Oh, around goes Brandon Piper in the 18. So that's your issue. 18 has that front end damage. We'll see what happened to him. Then Matthew White does not want to see this caution. Nope. Benjamin Savato has been disqualified. Oh man, it was Ronan Suarez, I believe, ran into the back of the 18. That also collects Ethan McMillan and Kyron Wilson. I gotta look from a better angle here. Savato was disqualified for being too slow, by the way. Here is Piper. Suarez just, I don't know if Piper checked up or what. He just ran straight into the back of him. I think Piper checked up. I don't know. Let's run along with Ronan Suarez through this accident. Leaders, of course, will all be, I'm not really sure what we're doing here. All be down pit road in a minute. Riding with Suarez. Yeah, he definitely checked up too much. I don't know what Piper was thinking. Destroys his car, probably destroys the 23 of Wilson as well, and damages Ethan McMillan.
Here comes everybody down pit road.
Yep. All leaders will pit here. Besides Eli, who's currently 2 laps down. This is not a well-timed caution for him at all. You can't get this wave around in the free pass at the same time, I don't think.
No, so I'm going to get the lucky dog and hoping for no caution.
Yep. All right, well, yellow comes out. 30 laps to go in Darlington. Leaders all going to pit probably for the final time tonight, unless we get another caution. Matthew White had a huge lead before this yellow. Does not want to see this, but this kind of brings Cameron Chandler back into the race. Don't forget about that. He was quick. 4 fresh Goodyears here for all your leaders. Don't want to speed. It's going to be detrimental at this point. Here comes Matthew White. He will roll off pit road easily first. Second is going to be that Miller machine. Third is Cole Wilson. Fourth is Bryce Benton. Fifth is Herklotz. And that's Cameron Chandler at P6. That, like I said, he's got to be one to watch. Can he recover? It would be pretty impressive if he can do this. I have about 27 to go once we go back green. He will restart 6th right now, at least. We'll see after the choose. All right.
There's also a good chance for Cherry to fix that nose damage to fix overheating problems.
Yep. So Braden Pfeiffer will retire from this race. Matthew White, here he comes. He'll choose inside this time. That's interesting. Miller going to go outside. Inside for White, outside for Wilson, sorry, outside for Benson. Inside for Chandler. He will technically restart P5. Yeah, Matthew's been choosing the outside the last couple of times. Last time it worked out at the end of it, but it was definitely tough to get. Interesting to see him to choose the bottom. So we'll see how it goes, though.
Usually here you probably want to take the outside so you control the inside exit of turn 2, which is very crucial.
I mean, that's what I thought. But we'll see what he can do on the bottom here. And restart with 27 to go.
Oh, who spun him?
What? I don't see anyone. Okay.
CJ.
All right.
Oh, great. And it's delayed. Awesome.
Oh. Well, we will not be going green this time by. There is, I don't know what happens. Was Erdman, you said?
Yeah.
So here is CJ Erdman down the backstretch. Under yellow, obviously. What? Aiden Holes, what is he doing? That is unacceptable to do in a race. That's just, yeah, you cannot do that. I know they're teammates and all, but you cannot do that. That's unacceptable. And especially, yeah, Aiden Holes, I'm sorry, was, of course, sent to the back of the field for doing that. You cannot do that. This is not lobbies. I mean, 99% of the people understand that, but for some reason we get a driver or two here and there that assumes that this is NASCAR, iRacing, FedEx lobbies, and you can do whatever you want. But clearly, you know, that's not what happens here.
I believe we had a similar incident last week at Grand National.
All right, well, we're going to restart in lap 70 here. Starting to get towards the end of this thing. Going to be 26 laps to go only. Pace car is in. Can Matthew White hold the lead on the inside? We'll see. Got to get a good jump, that's for sure. Side by side with Ashton Miller back up front. Wilson, Benson, row 2. Chandler back there in 5th. Back to green, and he does get a good jump. That's definitely what Matthew needed. Miller doesn't really go on the outside that well, and Matthew White is clear. Here comes Cole Wilson for second to the inside of Miller, trying to get to his quarter panel. Oh, he just barely got there, got him loose. Oh, and nearly pushed in the wall is Bryce Benton. Chandler cleared a P5. White got a little bit loose for the lead. Side by side now for second. Here comes Cole Wilson to the inside of Ashton Miller. Oh, they both slide up the racetrack. Here comes Bryce. But they both clear him. Now Chandler, where's he going to make his move in the 8 car? One of the fastest cars up early. Hit the wall, of course. Lost the lead from doing that. Now he's back inside the top 5. And now, oh, contact. Oh, what a slide by that 22 Wilson to the inside of Miller. He's going to lose 2 spots. At least 1 spot to that 9 car Benton. Side by side they go for third. Benton going to wrap the outside. Inside, of course, under green has been the not preferred line, and yeah, that's going to be showed right there. Bryce Benton to P3. And Bryce is still a driver. You got to worry for the win here. Can he pass Miller and try to run down Matthew White? Miller on the wall. White is taking every opportunity to try to pull away. side by side. There is Herklot's door slamming with Gary Smith back here. I believe 6th place. That's going to allow Suarez into the battle, and that's 71 to Cole Clausen. Herklot's falling back. Not what he needs for the points. Oh, there's contact between Herklot's and Clausen. Herklot's now 8th. Clausen is going to lose spots on the inside. He is going to fall back to what, 11th? Jerry now inside the top 10 after repairing his damage. No longer overheating. But up front, the gap, about a half second between Miller and White. White, of course, already won a Grand National race this season. Doesn't have too many to his name. I think he only has like 3. Which is kind of shocking for a guy like Matthew White. Of course, full-time in the Cup Series, but has done a lot of Grand National races. He won this season at Sonoma. Now Cameron Chandler trying to battle for P4 with Cole Wilson. Wilson definitely looks uneasy in that race car. We're coming to only 20 to go this time by. Cameron, though, is back inside the top 5. Good recovery drive, even if he doesn't win the race. "20 laps to go in Darlington." Leaders, of course, still nose to tail. Yeah, I mean, Miller isn't going away. He is starting to actually eat into that gap a little bit on Matthew White, but White in that corner finishes well and pulls back away. And I think this is a good time with 19 remaining to go to a Grand National Series Darlington throwback. Crank it up. That's a slide job to the inside of Ashton Miller. For Bryce Benson, there's contact here at the front of the field. Side by side for the lead as we exit, crank it up, door to door, for second down the front straightaway. Here comes Bryce Benson. He's going to race him evenly down into 1 and 2. Contact is made again a little bit in the wall. Goes that 79. Benson is doing everything he can, puts on the wall again. I think Ashton is going to be very pleased with him. These both, of course, have to spend entire Southern 500 tomorrow night in the Cup Series together. This is allowing Wilson and Chandler to reclose the gap and Matthew White to pull away. Contact once more in the wall. Hard! Oh, he's going to crash him! Unbelievable! Wrecking down the front straightaway is Bryce Benton. And that is going to change everything. Caution is out! Wow! I didn't expect that. My goodness. Let's take a look.
Sadly, I'm not the free pass, but I do. This pit stop here is going to be interesting. So I think some guys might take 2 tires if the guys come down pit road.
So here they go, side by side for the lead, or second, obviously. Benton just door slams, and Miller hits the wall and just overcorrects it into the wall of into the quarter panel of the 9. I would put more blame on Bryce Benton for that. Unreal. And they both lost a lot of spots. Wilson's now second, Chandler's now third. Can you believe it? Let's ride along with Ashton Miller. I mean, it was a hard battle for P2. Benton obviously wanted to go so badly. There he is, the inside, and just makes contact that first time, then pushes it into the wall, and then nowhere to go. Bryce was racing him, I think, a little bit too tight there. I know it's 13 laps to go in the race, but still. Unreal how things happen like that. Well, caution is now out. Leaders are going to pit. So, well, Benton is now... Miller is actually somehow being scored second? What? There's no way. How is he being scored P2? I don't really understand. And then with that, Bryce Benton is currently being scored 7th. How does that make any sense? I don't really know. Well, here they come down pit road, I guess. Miller's got to repair some damage, so I don't think he would hold P2. Cheery stays out. Okay. So does Aiden Holes. He's a lap down, though. And Eli, he's a lap down. So Cheery, the only one. That's, I don't know about that call. 12 laps to go. There's still a while in Darlington, and tires obviously mean so much. So Cherry, I don't know if it was a mistake, if he meant to do it, who knows. Here they come.
Let me go by him.
This is the money stop. Pit crews, of course.
2 tires here.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, no one yet. I think everyone's doing 4. Miller, maybe. Miller off pit road first with damage. How about that? Benton's going to be ahead of Matthew White. I think they took 4, though. Ron and Suarez took 2 as well. Matthew and Benton both took 4, but Benton actually, I think Benton took 4. He might have actually taken 2. I don't know. Just spun out and has damage. So did Ashton Miller. But Cheery is being scored your leader. This just flip-flopped all of a sudden. Wow. $11 to go now.
Cherry is definitely, he's called a strategy. He's going to stay out and try to win this race.
All right, well, it's going to be hard to win it, but there's 2 tires. So I think 3 cars took 2 tires. Miller, Suarez, and Benton. White and everybody else behind him took 4. So that's interesting call here. Coming to the shoes, Cheery goes outside. Miller goes inside. Suarez goes inside. That'll be the second road outside of Benton. Behind him is Matthew White. Yeah, this is exactly what Matthew White did not want to see. Matthew White's luck since his win at Phoenix in the Cup Series this season has been not good. Still has a chance to win the race, but...
And that's what I was talking about during practice, the pre-race. It's gonna be very weird. Restart old tires, 2 tires, 4 tires. And if this track, watch Cherry for wheel spin. You gotta watch for 2 tires, but they probably would get very loose. This restart. We'll see here. Come back to green with 10 laps to go.
And Cole Wilson, by the way, lost a lot of spots. He's now outside the top 10. So it was definitely a slow pit stop by Cole and didn't choose very well either. Well, it's going to be 9 laps to go. Staying out is Richard Cheery. 2 tires for Miller, Suarez, and Benton. First car on 4 tires is Matthew White. Well, 4 tires matter here. Or can 2 tires hold on? 9 to go in Darlington. This one just got really interesting. Here we go to settle it, maybe. From the track, too tough to tame. Back under green, 3 sets of 3 different tire strategies. Who's going to win? 9 remaining in Darlington. It's a good restart by Ashton Miller to the inside. They're 3 wide for the back. Suarez didn't get going very well. Here comes Miller. Oh, but what are we doing, iRacing? He slides up the racetrack side by side with that 29 of Cherry, who's going to almost clear him. Almost got to take the wall again. Oh, Matthew White crashes. Oh, hard on the wall. Just Christian Erklotz. Erklotz slams the fence. Where's the caution, iRacing? That's ridiculous.
All right, good.
Unbelievable. So first of all, Herklotz, you're tied for the points lead. Oh my god, look at that. Unbelievable. Gets contact with McMillan, slams the wall. He is done, that's for sure. There's no way. Wow.
Oh, wow, Ashley Miller, he was yelling over the radio.
And this is day over for Herklotz, obviously. Hard on the wall. That's a huge shot. But they didn't hold.
Oh, what's happening back here?
What?
It's near the leaders.
Huh?
Someone's very upset. Cherry spun.
There's Matthew White. Cherry there, he's around. I don't know what just happened. Let's see here. Okay, so this is what happens. So Cherry comes out of nowhere. I think he comes up to Bryce Benton. Oh, he turns himself across Benton's nose? Well, somehow everyone avoids. Thank God they... Oh, no, the 36 made contact. What is going on? So Matthew White, of course, he went around as well. I want to see how Matthew went around before. There he is. First he's in the middle there. He's on the outside. Got clear. Then they were racing really hard for the lead ahead of him. Again, it was Miller and Benson that made contact for the second straight time in a row. That kind of set off this crash that pushed, that Matthew was just nowhere to go. And then they wrecked that separate wreck in the back. White goes hard on the wall. They have their massive crash behind them. I mean, and then Cherry spins himself out. This is what happened up here when the caution was about to come out. They were 3 wide. They can see the yellow comes out. Contact, oh yeah. Oh man, Cameron Chandler not happy with Bryce Benson. Those are teammates, by the way, in the Cup Series. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't even know what to say. Benton is second. Miller's your leader now. Unreal.
Why is Matthew White on pit road?
He crashed.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, unfortunate for White. That caution killed. And that, man. Driver's top of the points here. I think might be coming to the shoes real quick. Miller outside. Benton inside. He shoots the front row. That'll give the outside to Chandler. I think Cameron might be in a good spot here. I mean, points leaders have had a horrible race. My goodness. I mean, Herklotz, you're tied for the points lead with Cole Wilson coming in. He just crashed out. Knox Thompson third in points. He crashed out earlier. Cole Wilson had a bad stop before. He's now 7th. Was 10th. I mean, Cole Clausen has a huge opportunity here to gain. He's now P6. Who knows? This race has gotten wild. We're going to restart with only 5 to go. All right, well, 5 laps remaining here in Darlington. Ashton Miller very angry, I think, with Bryce Benson. They're both angry at each other. Cameron's not happy with Bryce. Cherry back there isn't happy with anyone. Neither is Matthew White. But we got to settle with 5 laps to go in Darlington. Pace car back down pit road. 5 remaining in Darlington. What a race we're about to see with a win. 5 laps to go. Can Miller getting a jump on the front row in the outside lane? Here we go. Back to the restart zone and back to green again. Wheel spin. Miller is clear. And that's a good start by Cameron Chandler as well to the outside lane for second place. He is going to clear Bryce Benson. To P2 goes Cameron. What a recovery drive. Can he run down Miller for the win? Oh! Car nearly wrecks. That's Ronan Suarez. He saves it. They're 3 wide further back. Everyone just trying to get in line, but for the lead right now, Chandler is coming. 4 to go in Darlington. Can he run down and pass Ashton Miller? Miller is definitely tight. He's in the wall. Here comes Cameron Chandler. Miller loses off corner exit. Chandler with a run. We got a record in the back straightaway. That's the 17 of Keaton Shelton. No caution yet. We stay green. Here comes Chandler to the inside. Contact's made. 3 to go in Darlington. Chandler is there, but is back in line to that 79 of Ashton Miller. My goodness. Remember, Bryce Benson's still waiting back there in 3rd. That 8 car definitely so quick. Can he pass Ashton Miller? After hitting the wall, he's trying to go for an incredible recovery drive to win the race. Coming to 2 to go. Miller slides. Here comes Chandler. 2 laps to go in Darlington. But Miller still got the outside lane. Will it be enough? Side by side, he's at the wall again. And Chandler is going to be clear. He takes the lead. Here comes Benton for second. Benton slides back to P3. And Cameron Chandler, how did he do it? Coming to, oh my goodness, coming to 1 to go this time by. Miller now second, 1 lap to go in Darlington. Cameron Chandler, unbelievable, hit the wall, I think on lap 5 while leading the race really hard, thought he was done. Somehow repairs his damage, drives his way to the front of the field, and with 2 laps to go, takes the lead. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. To the inside, Benton for second. Going to be a battle between him and Ashton Miller. It's going to be back-to-back in the Grand National race at Darlington. Cameron Chandler starts his week off great and wins in Darlington for his second Grand National win of the season. Miller hangs on the second. Benton goes third. What a race. Unbelievable. I mean, that was just crazy at the end. Cameron passes him with about 2.5 to go and wins. He gets congratulated by his fellow companion. Ooh, Ashton Miller just got spun by Cole Wilson on the cooldown lap. What a race, though. Unbelievable stuff in Darlington. Cameron Chandler, what a recovery drive. This is going to be one to remember for the driver of the 8. Probably maybe his most impressive Grand National win ever. Remember, he was outside, I think, almost the top 20 after having to pit for so long, repair his car. I mean, just unbelievable stuff by Cameron Chandler today. This is why he's a Grand National champion.
We all thought his night was done early on when he had damage. He fell all the way back to 13th and he looked slow. We all thought his day was done in terms of winning. Never thought at the end of the day we'll see him in victory lane.
I mean, I had a feeling. I mean, even when he was just breaking inside the top 10, I said, caution or two, Cameron's right back in this race. And those cautions happened, and here he is burning it down. Well, we're going to have post-race interviews, going to ask Cameron all about that insane drive back to the front of the field after repairing his damage. I mean, this is a really impressive win by him. It wasn't just driving. It wasn't like he just got caught speeding on pit road or whatever like Benton did and drove his way back up front. He hit the wall. He had damage. That could have been almost race-ending. But somehow repairs it and wins the race. Just unreal. Definitely got helped by the cautions. That's for sure. He doesn't win this race without all the yellows. There's towards the end of the race, but still really impressive. Cameron Chandler wins the Darlington Grand National race for the second straight season. I don't know if he won this race in season 3. He might have, actually. I don't know. If he did, then that's actually 3 straight Grand National wins at Darlington for Chandler. I'll actually double check on that real quick. Of course, he won last season, obviously. Season 3? No, he did not win. Matt Grab actually won that race. One of his only 2 career wins, Matt Grab. All right, but Cameron Chandler goes to victory lane. In Darlington, this is a great way to start off his Southern 500 weekend. He will have great momentum heading into tomorrow night's race. All right. Well, post-race interviews coming up right away in Darlington. First of all, obviously, your winner, Cameron Chandler. Cameron Chandler, unbelievable drive back to the front of the field. So, first of all, we're going to go to the start of the race. What happened? You took the lead, and then you slammed the wall. I thought your race was done, at least, for the win. You somehow, somehow repair your damage, and you drive your way to the front of the field and win the race. How about it?
Yeah, I went into three that one time trying to defend off Matthew, and he just went into the corner and got me. And yeah, I thought the race was going to be over for the win there too. For a few laps, he hung on decently, and then um it just fell off a cliff. We were plowing tight the entire race after that. Then Knox Thompson decided he's going to block me all the way to the inside, to the very inside at Darlington, and purposely spin himself out down the back straightaway. Then I get ran over by Youngblood. And then we go to the end of the race. Bryce Benton decides he's just going to commit genocide on half the field. So this is we've been doing pretty well in the Xfinity Series, well, Grand National Series recently, but this was an absolute joke of a race. And I had no business in victory lane after what happened on lap 5, and then especially to see the way that last yellow came out. That just this race was honestly pretty embarrassing.
All right. Well, how did you? Of course, you wrecked or well, didn't wreck earlier, but you nearly wrecked early on. How did you somehow keep your nose clean to drive through all of that chaos to win?
We didn't really. I mean, we had the incident with Knox, and then I had someone else decide they were gonna block me all the way to the inside in the 1-2, and then slam the brakes right in front of me, and I punted him into a corner. So, um, I don't know. We were just lucky that none of the wrecks truly involved us and killed our car enough. And then, with Bryce committing mass genocide on the field, we were able to just get into a nice position and get through the field. And I will say for too, my pit crew for once they actually decided not to be McDonald's employees. We came in one stop 10th and came out 6th. So that's what ultimately put us in this position. It was impossible to pass tonight.
Well, of course, tomorrow night, obviously, the Southern 500. Much longer than this race, but this is a great way to start off your Darlington week. What can you maybe expect for tomorrow?
I'd hope for the same thing. We've been pretty good over there on the cup side. We've been lacking qualifying a little bit, and that's been hurting our race pace. But I still feel decently confident for tomorrow. Last time we won this race, we ended up qualifying it on pole, and then we did get terrorized the exact same way. But hopefully we can get back on pole and lead from there.
All right, Cameron, well, big congratulations on winning this race for the second straight season. Have fun celebrating down in Victory Lane, but don't go to bed too late. You got a cup race, the Southern 500, tomorrow night.
Yeah, nice try.
Wow. Unbelievable. Coming up next is going to be Ashton Miller. Man, Ashton Miller, so close, but of course at the end, so far. 2 laps to go. You're holding on to the lead, but you unfortunately for you get passed by Cameron Chandler. Is there anything you maybe had left in the tank there, or was Cameron just too much to hold off?
I mean, honestly, for us, we were lucky to even get up there. We tried, but our car was just we didn't have enough tire on it. Our spouse to take 2, and he took 4, and obviously, you see how that played out. But you know, the real changing point, was Bryce Benton because I don't know what the hell he was doing. He wants to wreck the half dam of the field, and then come bitch to me about it like it's not his fault. Like I don't know what the hell his problem is, but it's always him. He's always wrecking half the TCMC people. So he can go talk to the team owner. I don't give a damn anymore because he races like shit every week.
All right, well, of course, moving on from this race, we got the Southern 500 tomorrow night. Obviously, going to be a very long race. You guys have you've had some struggles in this race, I think, in the past. If I remember back with ETR, I don't know what happened the last few seasons, but of course, now back here in season 5 for the Southern 500, your team actually, Showtime Motorsports, has won this race the last 2 seasons. You think maybe now you could be the driver in victory lane instead of Aiden Donahue?
We'll definitely try our hardest, but it's gonna be hard because the cars are gonna be a lot like how they were today, just very loose. Gonna be tough to pass people, but hell, what are you gonna do? But good race. I had fun. Just wish, Bryce didn't wreck half the field at the end. But that's that. I don't know what to tell you honestly.
All right, Miller, well, still nice job on the run tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow night for the Southern 500.
All right, thank you.
Bryce Benson, you guys will come home in 3rd tonight. Obviously, a couple of drivers not on the greatest side with you guys, but moving on from that, you will finish in P3. Unfortunately, the speeding penalty looked like it kind of just took the lead from you guys after that, and you just never were able to get it back. What was the main struggle after that?
I mean, I think we still had a fast car after. I mean, I think we probably could have won the race. I mean, probably maybe even without that one yellow that kind of bunched everyone together. And yeah, I mean, I probably had a fast enough car to win the races, even with the speeding penalty. But yeah, I mean, just kind of gotten some stuff with Ashton. I'm not exactly happy with him. I don't really know. I obviously know the wreck was my fault, but I don't really know what he was doing before racing me that hard when my tires are clearly better. And I mean, I know it's something I do, but I usually don't do it that hard. I mean, it was freaking. I don't know fully what he was doing. I mean, it got to a point where I just kind of needed to wall him to get by him, and I did that, and I kind of wrecked myself doing it. I don't blame him for the wreck. It's not what I'm mad about. I'm just mad about him. Just I was mad about about him racing me so hard before that. Um, and then him complaining after that, after he was the one that was racing me dumb. So, yeah, I obviously know a lot of people are probably not happy with me. I know I probably shouldn't have bumped him in 3 and 4 and on that, I think it was the second to last restart. I probably shouldn't have done that. I know, but, um, yeah, I don't know. I think I lost my head a little bit, but I mean I do take blame for it. But I'm sorry for whoever else got involved in it. But I I'm not just not very happy with Ash. I'm still not really.
Well, of course, we got the Cup race tomorrow night, the Southern 500. I don't think you guys have had very good luck in this race in the past, but now with some angry drivers on your side, what kind of conversations do you think you could have tonight to make sure tomorrow goes okay?
Well, first of all, we'll see if I'm even racing because I mean, I do know I probably do have a penalty coming my way, but if not, or sorry, if I am racing tomorrow, which hopefully I am. I do want to. Um, I I think I think it could be a good race. Darlington, it's not one of my it's not one of my strongest tracks. I'm solid with the O'Reilly car at Darlington, also the trucks. The next gen I was terrible in. I don't know how I'll be in Gen 4. I really don't know. But the next gen I was terrible in, so that's why I was really bad in the Southern 500 in previous seasons. I think I'll be a little better in Gen 4, but who knows? Honestly, I don't really know. But yeah, I definitely do probably need to have some conversations. Maybe work things out with Ashton. Maybe have a little talk. And yeah, some other drivers that got involved in our beef. So yeah, I'll definitely try to have some conversations. And honestly, I do hope that I can race tomorrow because I have throwback prepared and everything. But we'll see, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely just try to get things sorted out. But yeah, we'll see.
All right, Bryce. Well, of course, nice job on the run tonight. You finished third, and we'll see you tomorrow night in the Southern 500.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyways, coming up next is going to be, I think Gary Smith. Gary Smith, you guys will finish in fourth. Really good run tonight, I think, for you guys. You had great pace in your number 5 car, but a top 5 finish. How about that? You made it right through the chaos. What was it like there at the end?
That was the most chaotic finish I've ever seen in my life. Braden was the doing in line car. He came from freaking Nagasaki, all right, and just killed the whole field. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Shout out to Ashton Miller for being mad if he's winning the race or running dead last. Is the exact same emotion the whole time. I get really inspired by that. I feel like I should get the best throwback scheme. I feel like everybody here I feel is what Cal Petty was saying is they should just fill this place up with water and have bass tournaments here. Because that race had to suck from an officiating standpoint. I'm sure that I don't know that you tell me, was that race a good race for TV?
Um, I mean, I guess.
I guess it was a great race. It was the greatest race of all time. I don't know. It was one of the league races ever. I can tell you that.
All right. Well, anyways, we head to. Will we see you in tomorrow night's Southern 500?
After seeing that crap, probably not.
Okay.
What's next week?
Watkins Glen.
I'll probably run the what is this? The Bush race, whatever this is.
Sure, the Bush race. Sure. Anyways,
Yeah.
we will see you next week in Watkins Glen.
Okay. Yeah. Rest in peace to everybody tomorrow night.
Okay. Always a fun time with Gary Smith. Wait, wrong driver. Cole Wilson, you guys finished top 5 in Darlington. It has been well. This is a terrible finish for you guys. Lately, it's breaks your top 2 streak after winning 2 races, finishing second twice. You guys finished with another top 5 though, and you will officially, after the massive issues with Herclots and others, take the points lead. How about it in Darlington?
Oh, wow. That was an entertaining race. I was not the fastest by any means. Probably around 5th to 7th quickest. Probably was gonna finish 4th or 5th if we went green to the end. But Matthew and or not Matthew, Bryson Miller decided to get a little heated. And then we had a caution, and I sped on pit road, which was either costing me the race win or a blessing in disguise. Because on the restart, Bryce ran through everyone, so I might have been involved in that. I might have been able to take the lead. So I don't know. It might have been good I sped, just avoid the trouble. And then I kind of was just stuck back in 5th. I couldn't really move anywhere forward. I don't know how Gary hung on with his destroyed car, but good for him. That was funny. And we just we'll cruise out of here with a top 5. I hate this place. Burn it to the ground. And I don't know where we go next, but I look forward to it.
All right. Well, yeah, you will look forward to it. But you go to Watkins Glen next, where you won there back in season 3. You think after now taking the points lead, a 3rd win of the season could be on the cards?
Yes, I think it can be. Unless I think Matthew White will be my only real competition. Ashton Miller and Cherry too. So yeah, Ashton Miller, Cherry, Miller. I hope we have a fun battle, and we'll see how it plays out.
All right, Cole James Wilson. Well, nice job on your top 5. It's your, I think, 5th in a row now. Breaks your top 2 streak. But we'll see you next week at your favorite racetrack, Watkins Glen.
Thank you, McConaughey Auto Shop, CWR, Cameron Chandler. Congratulations on the win, you fat. And I could have gotten an extra point today. I did 2 weeks in a row. I hit somebody after the checker flag and gave myself a 4x.
Yeah, I hope you lose
last
the
week it
championship by
wasn't
2
my
points.
fault. Last week it wasn't my fault. This week I did intentionally wreck Bryce Benton. So
Yeah, unbelievable.
maybe my fault, and I deserve it.
Suspension.
All right, Cole. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. All right, coming up next is going to be Cole Clausen, I think. Yes. Cole Clausen, how about it? P6. You guys, when I looked up earlier in the race, were running 18th, and you recovered a P6, and it's ultimately after Herklotz had issues, Clarino had issues, Knox Thompson had issues. It's a great points day for you guys, and you close a lot on some of those guys. Not Cole Wilson though, but you now are in a battle for almost second in points, third the second in points. How about that?
Yeah, beginning of this race, I don't really want to talk about it. Just didn't fire off good at all. I don't really know what our problem was. I think I hit the wall on both my qualifying laps, or I think I got loose on my first one and then hit the wall. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I had to start way in the back, and yeah, just kind of got stuck in that dirty air. It felt like, and once we got that first caution there, I was started to recover pretty good, and yeah, I got in the top 10, and once I got in some clean air, I felt like I was pretty fast, but then I guess we fell out of the top 10 again there, but then we got that caution with like 10 laps to go or something, and that's really when I recovered. So yeah, I mean, pretty up and down race, to be honest, but we were able to recover pretty good.
Well, anyways, we have to Watkins Glen next week. It's a road course, so things could get interesting there. But we have Daytona after that. What's going to be your game plan? Of course, I'm thinking of a regular season finale, but it's not for you guys. Obviously, it's only for the Cup Series. But these next two races, how do you think they could go?
Yeah, I think both could go really well, honestly. I mean, I don't consider myself a really good road course racer, but if you do remember that Gen 6 race at Watkins Glen in lobbies, if you know, you know, let's just say. So I may have something for maybe a top 5 or something at Watkins Glen. I also got a top 5 at Watkins Glen and Cup last year, I'm pretty sure. So when it comes to Watkins Glen, I feel like I'm pretty good there. Definitely my best road course, but Daytona, anything can happen there. We can either win or finish dead last, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But also gonna have Hudson Woodard racing in the Watkins Glen race too, so it's gonna be fun to have him on our team for his first ever start in the Grand National Series. So it should be a good time.
All right, Cole. Well, nice job with the run tonight. Top 6 finish after not starting off great, but a great recovery for you guys. And we'll see you next week in Watkins Glen.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alrighty. It was, I think, Jacob Clurno finished 10th. These here. Jacob Clurno, you guys will finish in 9th today. It could have definitely been better for you guys if you didn't unfortunately have to hit the wall so hard. I think that kind of killed a lot of your speed out of your race car. What was ultimately what happened?
So yeah, I was just getting impatient, and then, well, I was like getting worried that Brett's catching, and then like I just out of stupidness I just blocked him for no reason. He is block, and then when you when you do a Joey block, block, car wreck into the fence, and then like that gave me a lot of damage surprisingly because I don't know how to drive, and then surprisingly I recovered it because I I want to say accidentally. Don't want to like blame him so much, but he wrecked my teammate, and then the yellow came out, and then I repaired damage, went back out, get positions, another restart, get positions, and then finished strong. Wasn't the best for me, but yeah, definitely gonna hope we're doing better going into Watkins Glen.
Yeah, Watkins Glen should be an interesting one. How do you guys think your road course package could do here? Because, by the way, after issues with, even though it wasn't the greatest night for you guys, issues with Heraclots, Thompson, and others, you move up now to second in points, only 10 behind your teammate Cole Wilson, who's, unfortunately for you, very good at Watkins Glen. But how do you think it could go?
I really like my chances at road course, especially Watkins Glen. I've been putting in a little bit more track time, and I think I'll definitely have a shot at like a good finish. Hopefully maybe a top 3 or a win. But yeah, I Cole Wilson's road course speed in the stock cars is okay. I don't want to say he's bad. He's Mexico City doesn't says otherwise, but I think Watkins Glen maybe is kryptonite, but I don't know. He might get the better than me, or maybe even Matthew White. But yeah, uh, hopefully you could get the better to him, get the better of him, and finish good and take the points lead back from him.
All right, Jacob. Well, nice job. Still on the run tonight, finishing 9th, and we'll see you next week at the Glen.
Thank you. See ya.
All right. Anyways, coming up next is going to be Rajan Cook. Rajan Cook, you guys will get a great top 10 finish here. How about that? You were so close to being, I think, last and a lap down until the yellow came out. And you guys will drive your way up to the top 10 and beat a lot of pretty good guys here. How did you do it?
Um, you know, the way that I did it, um, Sorry about that. A little busy here. Um, I mean, the way how I got it done pretty much is just I keep repeating myself, same as usual. Though I may seem slow, it's all about being conservative and being persistent, letting all the other people do stupid stuff, and then when they all wreck out, I secure myself a top 10. So I mean, the whole track, I mean, this whole race, I enjoyed myself, but to be honest with you, this whole race was a joke. I mean, all the good guys, all the fast guys, they were getting riled up over stupid stuff, and they were wrecking each other over stupid stuff, and it allowed all the backmarkers like myself to secure a better finish. Now, if that didn't happen, to your point, yeah, I would have finished low top 15 or because to be honest with you, I didn't practice this track at all. I kind of learned it as I went, but I enjoyed myself, and it's nice to have this good Tim Richmond throwback with Course Civic, um, and then yeah, that's really all my little rant there.
Well, yeah, of course, there's a beautiful race car. Happy to see it get a top 10 finish, but we head to a road course next week in Watkins Glen. What's your feeling on your team's road course package?
For my car, I don't mean to leak this on air, Braden. I apologize in advance. Braden does not invest in my team, my car specifically for the road course package because I'm not that good at road courses. But if Gregory or Gary shows up, expect them to be a powerhouse next weekend. But next week, but for me, Watkins Glen, it's just another filler. Do what I have to do with whenever that happens. So, I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, it's just a filler for me.
All right, Rojan. Well, nice job. Great top 10 result for your team today, and we'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you. God bless this great country. God bless America. And Ethan Trendler, man. Before I go, I just want to say, dog, you got to get better at these graphics, dog. Why do you have all of these logos tilted all over the place? Come on, dog.
Yeah,
Are
nice
we
try,
serious
Braden,
right
on
now?
Sicker. Hmm.
No, no. This come from me, dog. This come from me. Genuinely. It doesn't take that much effort into just making a simple, clean cut, not all over the place, bro. Seriously. And I didn't want to say this because I knew it was going to be entertaining, and you'd probably still do it. But I'm just saying, bro. This shit's just ass, bro. Excuse my language, but it's just butt. It's doo doo, bro. I don't know what else to say.
Well,
But
You
yeah,
make
thank
fun
you.
of us
God bless
fair.
you. God bless America. You guys have a good night.
okay. See you at Watkins Glen then. We've had a pair of interesting interviews tonight. My God.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Ryan and Suarez, you guys will finish 11th today. Looked like kind of a rough day. You guys got punted around a lot in this race. After winning at Homestead, could really never make your way up inside of the upper top 10, I guess. But it's still 11th place result here in Darlington. What ultimately happens?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was overall a solid day for me and the Suarez Auto Works Audi Quattro throwback. But yeah, it was mostly an up and down day for me. Starting from the back, I didn't have a great qualifying run. I threw away my only heater of a qualifying lap. So yeah, starting from close to the back, had to go through the hornet's nest throughout the whole race. But overall, I kept the car clean. Didn't get any damage whatsoever, which is really nice. It's the first for racing in the pack. But yeah, I was I was not super confident heading into this race. I was just here to survive, and I mean that's what I did. But yeah, 11th place finish. We almost had a top five until I lost it there on that second to last restart. No, the last restart. Um, I somehow miraculously saved it though, so I was able to gain back what a little bit of what I lost. But yeah, P11 could have gotten a P10, but me and Rojan had an intense battle for that spot.
Well, of course, we head to Watkins Glen next week. What do you feel like you could do on the road course?
Well, I'm not quite sure of what I can do, but I know what I'm hoping not to do. And as wheel hop into the chicane like last season. So yeah, that one's also mostly to survive. I also want to touch up on some road racing skills, so I'll probably do some test sessions and officials and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, I guess I'm overall excited for Watkins Glen. I tend to do well over there if I don't wreck. But yeah.
All right, well, nice job. Still on the run today, and we'll see you next week at the Glen.
All right, I'll see you.
Nah, I think we can call it quits at this point. I'm done with interviews. That's a lot. Well, Eli Franklin, what a race. I mean, my God, like, the leaders, that might be the most beef I've ever seen the leaders have.
Yeah, that was a lot of beef, and most of those guys were Cup guys, which is makes it even more funnier. And down in Grand National, it's a lot of beef. Can't imagine how much going to carry over to tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking of that, like, the guys beefing were, like, Cherry, Chandler was mad at Benton mad at Miller, White probably mad at some people as well. I mean, those guys are obviously all in the Cup race tomorrow night, full-time in the Cup Series, at least for most of them. I mean, that's, yeah. Who knows? You can only tell by watching the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season 5 Southern 500 tomorrow night. You're going to see some beautiful throwback paint schemes on the racetrack, of course, like you saw tonight in Grand National. And you're going to have some different throwback additions to the broadcast as well. Should be very fun. Very excited for that one. And comes up tomorrow night, of course, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The same throwback to music like we have for NASCAR and Speed tonight. So that'll do it. What a Grand National race it was. On behalf of all team owners, commentators, drivers, officials, everyone involved making this league what it is, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Grand National Series in Darlington. Grand National returns next week in Watkins Glen, but of course, first of all, tomorrow night, the Southern 500 for the Cup Series here in Darlington. It's our throwback race for the Cup Series. Good night in Darlington. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Cup Series Southern 500.